Chapter 7. While Gunter went to school, Mike learned more about farm work. Days passed quickly, and at night Mike collapsed into bed after supper. On Saturday night, the high-backed iron tub was pulled into the kitchen in front of the stove, and everyone took a bath in turn. On Sunday, Mike rode to church with the Friedrichs, and Marta set off on foot toward her own church. All this time, Mike kept a soft, sharp eye on Gunter whenever he was nearby. He knew there were times Gunter spied on him and Reuben, and there wasn't anything he could do about it. He told Reuben about the conversations he had overheard. But Reuben shook his head and reminded him that an active imagination could only cause Mike more trouble than he'd bargained for. The only German I know is from Holderlin's poetry and from some of my mother's old country expressions, Reuben added. Don't you see how Mr. Friedrich stares at you? With his eyes narrowed and tight, Mike demanded. He acts so strangely and suspiciously toward you. Surely you must be aware of it. All I know about Mr. Friedrich is that he's frugal and hard-working, Mr. Reuben said, and that's all I need to know. Whatever problems a man has are his own business, no one else's. Mike ducked his head at the reprimand, but Reuben's attitude did nothing to lessen his fear of Mr. Friedrich. Often Mike caught Gunter glaring at him through eyes of such hatred that he stayed on guard for Gunter's next mean trick. At the same time, Mike had to battle his own jealousy toward Gunter, who was sent to school in spite of his complaints. That was a waste of time, and the teacher didn't like him. And Ezra, the youngest Blair boy, had knocked him down and bloodied his nose because he'd seen Gunter snitching a large slab of molasses cake from someone's dinner pail. Gunter's lower lip curled down in a pout when he told the story. I was just having fun, and Ezra didn't give me a chance to explain. Those Blairs are a bad lot, Mr. Friedrich said. Well, I hope you gave him as good as you gave him, or as he gave you. I couldn't, Gunter said. He's stronger, and the other boys were on his side. Oh, my poor Gunter, Mrs. Friedrich said, sighing. Maybe you should tell the teacher how those boys are bullying you. At the time, it was all Mike to do to keep from laughing aloud. The next morning, when he told Reuben the story as they worked to mend the fence in the high pasture, he did laugh loudly and freely. Careful of that Gunter, Reuben said. It'll make your life easier if you don't cross him. I'll be careful, Mike said. But at that moment, nothing about Gunter could really worry him. The air was chill, the sun was high and bright, and the sweet, sharp fragrance rose from the knee-deep golden grasses and clover. Bruna ran over through the meadow, jumping and snapping at a bright butterfly. Mike carefully helped to steady the support that Reuben had tightly wedged against the fence post, while Reuben drove the post into place with heavy blows from a mallet. And when they finished, Mike stepped back and slowly turned to look at the patches of forest and meadow, which lay before him in a gold and green patchwork. I wonder if this is anything like Ireland, he said. Ma often said that Ireland was the most beautiful place on earth, and I'm thinking this place must be close to it. Reuben wiped his sleeve across his forehead and smiled. There's much in this world that's beautiful, Mike. I've heard there's mountains to the west that are higher than you can imagine, and rivers with water so clear you can see fish hiding in the bottom sands. Have you seen those things, Mike asked? No, but they're there for the viewing. Will you go to those mountains and rivers someday? Reuben laughed. I'll go back to my old and treacherous friend, the Missouri, which is sometimes so muddy that few foolhardy souls have tried to walk on it. Mike smiled. I'd like to go to the mountains. I'm going to travel further west someday. Then do so, Reuben said. Wings have we, and as far as we can go, we may find pleasure, wilderness and wood, blank ocean and mere skies, support that mood which with the lofty sacrifices the low. I understand the first part of that, Mike said. Your friend Shakespeare write it? William Wordsworth did, Reuben told him. He was also a poet of great renown. That's fine, Mike said. They should have got along well if both of them unable to put down words the way they come straight from the mouth. William Shakespeare lived many, many years ago, but William Wordsworth died just about the time you were born. Sorry to hear it. I'm sorry I am, but I had nothing to do with it, Mike said. He grinned with mischief, and Reuben chuckled. I like the poetry, I surely do, Mike said. And someday maybe I'll understand it all. Tell again about the part of the wings. I want to think about it. The work went fast and later that evening when all the cows had been put into the stalls and the first stars were winking in the sky. Reuben said, We're through early tonight. You can take your time washing up for dinner. Mike ran ahead, bouncing in the warm kitchen, and smiled at Marta. If you had wings, he asked, where would you fly? Would you fly to see the oceans and mountains? Marta's expression grew somber, and she said, If I had wings, I think I'd fly to see what Corey Blair's up to. Has he come back from Kansas border? I have no way of knowing. Marta shot an angry look in the direction of the parlor. Mr. Friedrich ordered Corey not to set foot on his property. Mike sidled toward the door as she spoke. Much as he liked Marta, he didn't want to hear any more about Corey. He walked down the hallway, heading for the stairs, and had his foot on the bottom stair when he saw a light flicker in his own room. As Mike drew back into the shadows, the light went out, and someone hurried from Mike's room, quietly shutting the door. Mike hid under the staircase, peering out to see Gunter scrambling as fast as he could down the stairs. The moment Gunter had disappeared in the direction of the parlor, Mike raced up the stairs. and into his room. He picked up his lamp. Sure enough, the glass was warm to the touch. With fumbling fingers, he lit the wick. He put the lamp down and studied his room. Nothing seemed out of place. He had so few things, it'd be easy to keep track of them. He took off his coat, laid it across the chair, and stood by the bed, steeling himself for a dead animal Gunter might have hidden under the quilt. He threw back the quilt and was surprised to discover nothing horrible had been in his bed. He decided that something must be under the bed. He tossed the quilt back into place, smoothed it out, and bent to peer under the bed. Nothing. He straightened and tried to sort out the puzzle. Gunter had been in his room for a reason. He couldn't have taken anything because Mike had nothing to take. Carefully, he examined the chest, but he could find nothing out of place. Whatever mean surprise Gunter had left behind, he'd hidden it well. But Mike would find it. He'd take the room apart if need be. He had to discover what Gunter had been up to. Mike gripped the edge of the straw-stuffed mattress and lifted it from the rope slings on which it lay. And as he did, his fingertips touched something cold and hard. Startled, he jumped back, then carefully eased up the mattress to see what was there. Wedged between the rope and the wooden frame of the bed lay Mr. Friedrich's gold pocket watch. As Mike stared at the watch, wondering what he was going to do, he heard heavy footsteps on the stairs and Gunter's raised voice, "I saw him take it, Papa. I saw Michael steal your watch."